person here, council member Flores. Well, I was thinking of what I was going to call you, but you're the secretary, so you're the available officer. You're the only available officer present, but we do have a couple online. I don't know if Mayor Padilla, you would like to start us off, or you'd like to defer that to Ms. Flores.
Well, I defer to the vice chair. Well, no.
The vice chair is also, vice chair is online. That's right. Mr. Hernandez could do it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can get things going, but just keep in mind that I have about 45 minutes that I can do.
We expect a short meeting, so I think we can make it if we can get started. So thank you.
Fantastic. All right, well, let's get this going then. Very good. So the time is 1:42. We have reached quorum. We are here at the Doña, oh my gosh, Government Center. Here we go for our regularly scheduled Southwest Central Regional Transit meeting. And the time is now 1:43. So this meeting is officially started. I don't have a copy of the agenda in front of me. So David, if you could help me out with that, that would be great.
Yeah, so I think you technically are doing the call to order. That's item number 1. Do we have a roll call? We do, that's number 3, but the next step is number 2 is Pledge of Allegiance. Would you like to go to that?
All right. So if we can stand, everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you.
All right. Councilor Flores, if you can actually lead us in that, that would be amazing.
Yes.
Ready? Begin. I
Pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, with liberty and justice for all.
We had a fast pace there, but that's good. Thank you, Mayor. All right, so now we have a roll call for number 3 on the agenda. I can start that off if you'd like.
Please do, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to start at the bottom of the list. I'm going to go with Mayor Murillo. Mayor Murillo?
Present.
Thank you. Councilmember Flores?
Present.
Trustee Powie? I think she's still trying to get online. Mayor Padilla?
Present.
And then we have Councilmember Sanchez, who's outside, and Mayor Hernandez.
Present.
Thank you. So we do have a quorum on the roll call.
Great. Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is our public input.
No,
There's
actually,
any members of...
excuse me, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, approval of the agenda. Yeah, I just pulled it up too, so sorry, Dave.
You got it. Thank you. So approval of the agenda.
If I can have a motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Second. Mayor Padilla.
Yeah, I believe Councilmember Flores moved the item and Mayor Padilla seconded it. If I'm correct?
Correct.
All right, so I will.
Fantastic. Is there any discussion? Seeing as there is none, if we can roll call vote on that, please.
Yes, thank you. Mayor Padilla,
Yes.
Councilmember Flores,
Yes.
Mayor Murillo,
Yes.
and Mayor Hernandez.
Yes.
Dave,
And-
this is Meiji. I'm at the meeting now.
Yes, and I'm calling on you next. We're approving the agenda.
Okay,
You approve. Thank you.
I approve.
Thank you. The matter passes. We can now move on to public comment or public input.
Great. Thank you. Is there any members of the public present for input?
Not at this time, unless they're online. I don't see
Great.
anybody online.
Thank you very much. We'll move forward to the next item on the agenda, which is approval of South Central Regional Transit District meeting minutes for February 26, 2025.
So
I can have a
moved.
motion on the floor, please. Thank you.
So moved by Flores.
Second by Mayor Murillo.
Great. Is there any discussion on the minutes? Seeing as there is none, with the motion and the second on the floor, if we can have a roll call vote on that, please.
Yes, and I'll start with you, Mayor Hernandez,
Yes.
Mayor Murillo,
Yes.
Councilmember Flores,
Yes.
Trustee Powie,
Yes, yes.
thank you, and Mayor Padilla.
Yes.
The item passes, thank you. Next item is.
Thank you very much. Beautiful. Directors of report. Let's go, David.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I have to walk. All right. All right, that's the wrong report. That's the PDF. Do you have the PowerPoint file? If not, we can use the PDF, but you're going to have to try to correct it.
No, I don't, unfortunately, there wasn't a PowerPoint that was provided, just the PDF.
Let's go ahead and
Apologies.
use the PDF and see if you can widen it somehow so it's not so small. There you go. Perfect. Thank you. That'll work. All right. So good afternoon. I'm David Armijo, the Executive Director. I have a brief report today to talk about some of the key things that we're working on at the moment. I know we have a couple of presentations. You can go to the next slide. Thank you. So ridership, right now we're following the NTD ridership report. We're 5 months into the year, starting in October. We had our biggest numbers at 15,000 rides. Typically this time of the year, we're doing about 12,000 rides. So each and every month for this year is up above the previous year. So we're still running at about a 30% growth. A lot of that is clearly coming because of the fact that we have the free fares. We did see a little bit of a drop off. We're still in the month of March last week, or even 2 weeks ago, because of the the windstorms and everything else. But we still did okay. We're about 75% of normal ridership, so that's actually not bad. What was weird is that we actually had record ridership on the Blue. So the Sierra County route continues to surprise as we go through all the time. So it really is a fast-growing route for as limited of schedule as we would imagine for that, but it's doing very, very well. So what I can show you is the ridership is going very well. You can still see from left to right, the red route carries about 6,000 rides in 5 months. It's still one of our best routes. The yellow route is clearly the best route, already carrying 42,000 rides for the year. But the green and the turquoise, all the different routes are doing very, very well. We just established Saturday service a couple of weeks back, so it's going to take a little while before that starts to play into it. That has the potential of growing the service another 5 to 8%. So we're looking forward to that. New bus deliveries. I decided to focus on this slide. It's the same bus. I took that picture on Friday of last week in Livermore. The bus on the left was carried by Kerry Johnson, a senior driver for Gillig Bus Coaches. He drove the bus Friday night, hours after that other photo on the right. He took the bus down to Southern California where he had a doctor's appointment. Sounds like something you would do, Loretta, by the way.
He drove the bus?
He drove the bus 1,200 miles to here. So he drove 400 miles on the weekend, left Los Angeles Monday morning and arrived at our facility at 4 o'clock yesterday. So he drove 800 miles in 2 days, 1,200 miles spread out over the last.
May I ask a question?
Please go ahead.
Thank you.
These are electric buses.
Well, but I have a question, might be maybe off the record. Why did he drive a public bus to?
We have 3 buses that come in. This is from the factory. So,
But didn't you say it was a round trip thing?
no, one way. So 1,200 miles one way.
Oh,
So I inspected that bus on Friday. Actually, that particular bus I inspected on Thursday morning. I inspected a different bus on Friday. That one and the other buses are en route now. They'll be here sometime by the weekend. So 3 buses, bringing us a total of 5 electric buses now from Gillig, along with the 2 hybrid electrics, so 7 buses. I just find it extraordinary that in this day and age, we really have moved forward from the days of the typical Tesla small vehicle and other electric vehicles being able to make a trip. Most people thought they couldn't make a trip to the West Coast. His last charge on that bus was around 2 in the afternoon in Deming, where he gassed up and charged up. He did have some periods of time where it took 2 to 3 hours to charge. So he always tried to charge it when it wasn't empty. So he would do like a half moving across the way. So he went to places like El Indio to charge up the bus, Quartz in Arizona, and a few other places. But
So how many miles does the battery, how many miles is it charged?
we're working on that estimate now. We've been testing the buses. Typically, we're getting about a 40% charge and anywhere from 120 miles in the morning. The afternoon bus does a little bit more, has a longer duty cycle, so it's about 190 miles. And we're still coming in at about half charge or more. So there's a feeling that we might be getting up to 300 miles. My estimates are closer to about 280. But we expected between 225 and 240. We're exceeding the estimates. And better is we didn't add the additional battery. That's what I was talking about last meeting, which would have cost us more money and added more weight, and we would have had less productivity, but we would have had more range because we had another battery. As it turns out, we don't need that battery.
So are these test runs, Mr. Edmicor?
The ones we're doing right now are in revenue service.
They're
But
what?
we've been in revenue service for 3 weeks, almost 4 weeks now, I guess. Yeah. So, yeah, this is really good news. We have offered one of the buses to go down to, and I know Tim is on the line right now, to the Austin Mobility Conference that the American Public Transit is doing. So we offered them at their cost to take the bus because we'd like to see other people in the country see what we have here. So we think this is a good representation for the state of New Mexico, not just Doña County and Las Cruces. But yeah, we're very excited about that.
Great, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Our Venus project, we started this. This is the third bus facility we'll be building. We're beginning a process of doing the NEPA, the National Environmental Protection Act. We did the same thing for our last project. This one we think will be a little simpler because as you can see in the red, inside the red, it's just dirt and it's flat. So it's about 3.4 acres. So I think this will be a great opportunity. Allows us to start building our services in Las Cruces now, especially on the East Mesa. So Zia Engineering will be under contract shortly. They gave us some price proposals. I think it's around 10 grand. The money for this is coming from the New Mexico Matching Fund. So this is all state money. Local match is coming from the state. So we're not having to put any money at this time into the project. We do have federal funds that we'll be using later. In that contract includes adding another hybrid bus. I was in negotiations on that last week when I was at the factory, and it looks like we're on the schedule for that and one other bus, 2 hybrids, come January of next year. So continuing to grow the fleet.
So, if I may,
Please.
so those are the additions to have connection on the further East Mesa?
That's correct. Our hope would be to get further up into the East Mesa area, all the way up to the Oregon Community Center. That whole area, it's like New Mexico and Texas. I mean, you got the city of Las Cruces on one end, you got the county on the other end.
Right.
But we don't need to be looking at that. We're working closely with Roadrunner, and so our goal would be to design a route that could be utilized for both our customers.
Yeah.
Right now, they're going to the high school. We would go further into that neighborhood and further into the county side. Also, that would allow us to connect going back over to Doña, where we have services currently on the copper line.
That would be wonderful, and when there is a full service, I mean, when it's regular, established, it would be good to really publicize that, because, you know, that's my district for the city.
Folks, absolutely will.
And that's the one complaint, not complaint, but one thing that stood out in, you know, I was assessing the drainage and septic situation and talking to the residents there. And then, I don't know how it came up, but it comes up all the time. When are we going to get bus? I like to go downtown because there's no bus service that far. I think it stops at Oregon High School.
Right, so the bus services here that we currently have, which is the Hatch or Green Route, comes through, and we go through the community colleges and so on Sonoma Ranch. We work our way back to Memorial and all the different hospitals and the mall. And eventually we get back to New Mexico State. So we now have 3 routes connected in New Mexico State: the copper, the green, and the reds. The red takes you all the way south to Anthony, and the copper takes you through the town of Mesilla, and then on back to the Movement Center near downtown, and then all the way back around to Mayfield High School and so on and so forth.
What route would that be, the one that's extending over to Oregon?
That would be a new route.
What is it?
Would be a new route.
Yeah, but what, it doesn't have a color yet?
We'll come up with one.
Okay, good.
I think the ladies have already given me a couple of them, like fuchsia and a couple other things that I've
Really
stayed away
exotic.
from. But yes,
Okay.
but that's probably,
I like
I'm gonna say
pink.
2 years away. It's 23-month startup plan to do that project.
23 months.
23 months, starting now.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, thank you. Last month, was it last month or January? I lose track. January or February, we came, February, okay. Well, we came to award a contract for bus shelters. We had 3 really excellent vendors, and they came in, but their prices came in extremely high. The shelter that you see here was one of the glass shelters we ordered during COVID when all the manufacturing companies shut down. The only shelters that were available were off the shelf. And so we paid between $4,000 and $6,000 for those, but those have been heavily damaged with the glass, and so we changed the design of those, and so we're moving away from those. The custom shelters at $12,500 a shelter came in so high, we would limit the numbers we do. However, I'm going to show you an in-house. We've been looking at what we could do to build our own shelters, and these are the in-house. Our staff have built those within what, a week to 10 days. Loretta, I don't know if you got kept up with that. I think it's within 10 days. The materials on that is about $1,000. That includes the metal, the fabricing, and the paint. The bench is kind of a wooden bench, but we'll have to deal something with that. But we might modify these a little bit, but we could, the labor we already are paying for, so those are our own mechanics. So the ability to do this internally might allow us to do more shelters down the road. Yes, you have a question?
And then, so the orange one is just the skeleton, or what?
Yeah, it hasn't been fully.
Because I was going to say, there's.
Yeah, it's on
really-
wheels,
You have
too.
to be really
Yeah.
skinny, or?
Yeah, the one on the right is more like if I had room for another photo, I would have shown you. We've already built a couple of these. So we actually had one that was damaged by a car that ran into it. And then that was down in Sunland, and we pulled it back. We fixed it. Within 2 weeks, we had it back up.
But the
It looks
one on
a
the right-
lot like the one on the right.
Yeah, it has the design is good. It has a shelter on it. And
Yeah. The only downside to these is that it doesn't have the solar that we wanted on the roof. So that's something to be looked at. So we might still go back out. I think I'd like to take another look at the procurement that we did. I think those are great, but at $12,000, $300 plus you do the pads, another $4,000, and so on and so forth. And we install ourselves. That's our own labor. So you're looking at $16,000, $17,000 for a shelter. You're not going to get very many shelters at that price. So this might be a better approach. But then I'd have to have more staff because I mean they are there to maintain the buses, not build shelters. So it's great that they can do this, but we have to work it into the other work. But I just wanted to share this with the board that we are looking at alternatives and how we can get the best bang for our buck. Any questions? Told you to be short.
I've asked all of mine, thank you.
David, going back to, and I apologize that I was late here. Looking at the shelters, and I know kind of what we've talked before, is there any way in which to possibly, even with the existing shelters, the manufacturing that we're doing of those, to retrofit with some sort of solar panel and or lights and such?
That's what he.
The answer is yes. However,
And I think
the
it
first
would be any
prototypes were.
would it be more cost effective, at
Yeah,
least?
yeah. I think what we've gained some engineering prowess and looking at the business sector is there are some ways of doing it. What might make sense would be whether or not we could talk to those companies and see if maybe we could work out a managed procurement together. In other words, maybe we do part of it, they do part of it, like the solar. They have some great designs on solar. I don't want to steal their design, so I mean, maybe there's a way that they could do part of that with us.
Yeah. Okay.
So that might be a win-win, and then we cut the cost maybe in half, and then we can produce more shelters.
And the other question I have is, and maybe this has already been addressed earlier, in terms of some of the discussions of the needs of the district, have those been already conveyed? I know we've already talked, obviously, some of the other funding, but has it been conveyed to the county for the upcoming fiscal year budget. And the reason I ask is because I know here at the end of April, we're going to be having a retreat.
Yeah, it's on our agenda today.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that as we.
Yep. Yeah, I was gonna wait to send that over to the Doña County staff after today, so we'll
Okay.
see how this discussion goes.
Yep. Okay.
All right, anything else? All right, we'll move on to the next item. Thank you.
Thank you, David.
Great. So I guess the question is, now that Mr. Chair is here, do you want to take over from here since you're there?
I don't mind if you'd like me to, I can do that, or unless you're enjoying the being behind in the driver's seat, I don't mind either.
Such a powerful.
Well,
position.
Mr. Chair, I'll let you continue, if you will, with the agenda moving forward.
Thank you so much.
And I only say that because if we do run over time, I might have the potential that I might have to pop off.
Okay.
So
Thank you so much. I appreciate you handling those duties, and I apologize for my tardiness. I just had this work meeting that hit me last minute, and so, but I appreciate it. And so with that, thank you, Vice Chair Mayor Hernandez. Let's see, all right, we're on to agenda item number 8. It's a resolution approving a 2-year memorandum of agreement between Doña County and the SCRTD. If I can get a motion and a second to begin discussion, please.
So moved by Flores.
All right, I have a motion by Councilor Flores. I will second the motion and turn it over to you, David.
All right. We don't do a
Number 8.
Okay, we're not doing a roll call, so I'll just do a presentation.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Just trying to keep.
Yeah,
Trying to
just
keep up.
presentation.
Thank you. All right, well, thank you. So I'm just going to do this really from the presentation. So if you want to go to the executive summary, it's a 2-year agreement. It's a nice little picture of our new facility sign at the front end. This contract, we come each year to the Doña County for a budget submission. We've been doing this since back in 2016. So we've been doing this for a number of years. We've been doing an annual process. We did have discussions last fall about possibly doing a 5-year or something longer because we don't have a sales tax. It's a little harder for us to leverage our funds. So what I decided to do this year is maybe come in with a 2-year. So whether we approve it as a 2-year or we approve it as a 1-year, we have that option. The board should have that. But what I wanted to share with the board is where are we now given our cost? So if you'll look at the third page, at the top of the page, I did a cost estimate of the memorandum of understanding, and you can see the fiscal year 2025 current year, we were right at $1 million, $999,725. We had figured in a CPI last year of about 3%. I actually increased that to 3.5%, given inflation seems to be starting to move its way back up. And so this would be a time period that would start in July of 2025 and go through June of 2026 for that 12-month period for that fiscal year 26. We've typically had the fare box recovery in there, so I moved that over. It's the same level as it was last year at $64,000. We did have some capital needs. Typically in that in the base cost, there's only about $100,000 of capital, so I moved it up to $200,000 more. So with all the inflation, it would bring the costs up to $1,298,715. So the numbers are clearly getting higher as we go, and you can see what it would be like the following year. So this might move to a discussion with the commission, because we started on this direction 8 years ago at $750,000, and so we've definitely gone up since then. Obviously, inflation, so the fare box. So if we didn't do the fare box recovery, we could reduce the costs. We could look at leveraging some other funds that we have with the federal government for like the urban funds, and we could perhaps lower some of the capital to try to bring that number down. I think what we would need is some feedback from the county as to how much of a commitment can the county make. I think this plays very well into our 10-year plan as we start to look at what it's going to cost to run service for the next 10 years, and whether or not, based on their original enabling legislation, we want to start considering some kind of a sales tax. Because we did and make that attempt in 2014, but it was probably premature at the time. So I'm looking at at our chair now to see what kind of input, and I can go into further detail on this presentation if you'd like.
No, I think it's understanding, and I think if there were, the reason I ask is, as we kind of move forward with some of the projects that we're looking at as a whole, and then our budget for the next year, I think I just wanted, be able to communicate that with the commission and the importance of it. I think we all do, which is why I think we've continued to really not have had significant type of discussion or pushback from other commissioners. I think if there has been any discussion, it's been how do we make sure that each of our areas is being serviced and provided. But generally speaking, I think the one thing that helps with the story is not just the advancements that we've seen with, like, just with Roadrunner, with the city of Las Cruces getting the EV buses, we've been getting EV buses. So I think it's that we're on par with what our other jurisdictions are doing. But I think the big thing has been the ridership numbers, and that's been the thing, is that how do we justify some of the additional cost? Well, it goes with that increase. So I think, like I said, my initial thought is that as we move forward, obviously everything will be dependent on where our budget comes in and where we can help. But I think there is some, I think we should be okay with the request.
Following down that line, and it is unfortunate we don't have the 10-year plan in yet, but we'll have it as we go through the budget, because a lot of those data numbers are being generated right now. But if you go look at page 4 and page 5, on page 4, what you're not yet seeing in these numbers is that we've been able to successfully work with the New Mexico Matching Fund to generate $924,000 of local match. And what that means is that if I go left to right, the first two items are the project implementation. So the state is actually giving us money to begin the implementation of the Venus project. And the first stage I just showed a moment ago is the NEPA. So they gave us $135,000. We're only looking at spending $10,000 on the NEPA. So there'll be other monies in there for other elements of the startup that we can use, which will help offset anything. If the project goes forward the way it is built, which is the third line Venus facility, the $2.3 million, $455,000 local matches coming from them. So that project, which is almost $2.8 million, is 100% paid for. The next line item, urban funds, we're getting federal funds about $430. We're already picked up $234,000 from the state on that. So the point I'm trying to get to is the state is also offsetting some of our other costs. As best I can get into the budget process, because Adam is just getting started, I took a high level look at it where we were from last year and then just inflated the numbers up 3.5%. So the bottom line is each of these projects we're talking about right now are being fully funded through this. Any money we'll need for like the microgrid on the 405 will come out of our urban funds. So we could be in a situation, and I think that becomes a one-on-one discussion I always have with the county staff to get a sense of, and Commissioner, you were on saying this just a moment ago, you have to know where you're going to be, right? So our goal will be to work with you on that. So these numbers are probably your worst case scenario, but everything's negotiable. We'll see what we can do. The other thing is we're also looking, as I laid out the plans, we think that what we have now in the grants process through 2026 is what we need. So, I mean, we're always going to look for opportunities to get more money if we can get it for something. There's lots of needs. But on the other hand, we actually think we're going to start slowing down. Our biggest effort was to get into Sunland Park. Now our next effort is to spend 2 years in getting Venus and Las Cruces going, because Las Cruces opens a lot of doors for us. Also qualifies us for more grants. So, and those are discussions we'll have. So, at any rate, we're early in the process. The county asked me for this because you're right, they're going to have a meeting. They may come back and say, David's crazy. What can we do? But that's fine. I mean, that's what negotiations are. And so, you know, this gives them an idea of where we think we're going. And if we need to work together to adjust that, we'll try to do that.
Okay. Any questions, board members? Okay. On the phone, any questions, or on WebEx? All right, not hearing any. So what, yeah, I'll say, David, I think I agree with the direction. I think having the information, or at least where we need, what the district really needs right now is the best thing we can do to provide, in at least for us in the county. So then we can try to start looking at all the requests. I know, you know, we're some of the other partner organizations that we have, like the Animal Service Center, Seltzer Solid Waste, wherever they end up, we'll be able to kind of take a look at that and see if for some reason those things don't quite fit, then we can start having further discussions and figuring out.
So I'm pretty sure, let me go back and look at my document. The document is intended to be a draft, so I put a resolution in here, but we don't have to take action today. As long as the board is fine with me moving this forward to the county staff and beginning the discussions, which is consistent with previous years, I'd always do a resolution. It is a dual resolution.
Yeah.
So it's really up to what the board would like.
I don't know, board, I think my thought is that we can approve this as a preliminary budget, and then, you know, we can always, whatever happens in the end, we always approve a final
Right.
annual budget. So at least my thought would be is just let's to vote on this, and if we accept it, then, you know, we can move forward and then make any adjustments where we need on the final budget.
Good.
Okay. All right.
There you go. Then we're good.
Okay. Okay, so with that, then we've got a motion and a second, so we'll just take a roll call.
So moved.
Oh, yeah, so yes, I think we had the motion by Councilor Flores, and then myself, I seconded, so,
Right. All right. So I'll do the roll call. So Commissioner Sanchez,
yes.
Mayor Padilla,
Yes.
Trustee Powie,
Yes,
Councilmember Flores,
Yes.
and Mayor Murillo. Oh, and of course, Mayor Hernandez.
Yes.
Mayor Murillo, one more time. I don't hear.
Mayor Murillo, are you there?
We have enough for
Yes, okay,
to pass, so the item passes.
all righty.
Thank you.
So that motion passes. Thank you all. All right. And we're on to agenda item number 9. It's a resolution approving a submission for a grant amendment of or for the SCRTD electric bus acquisition Phase 3 grant to the El Paso MPO. I get a motion and a second to begin discussion on this item.
So moved by Flores.
All right, I have a motion by Councilor Flores. I will second the motion. All right. I guess, Tim, will you be presenting from remotely here?
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Chair, and members of the committee. So for this item, El Paso MPO awarded 3 years of CMAQ congestion mitigation and air quality funds for a total of 5 buses to SCRTD. The project was split over 3 phases and programmed into the MPO's planning documents accordingly. Recently, however, NMDOT has informed El Paso MPO that the funding for Phase 3 will be changed from the CMAQ program to the Surface Transportation Large Urban Program. This program comes with fewer requirements for air quality and will potentially allow for a change from electric buses to hybrid buses. Under current guidance from the federal government, a change from electric buses to hybrid buses may be necessary for compliance. Staff is requesting the ability to request an amendment from the MPO to this grant to allow for greater flexibility in pricing and in greater chances of approval under current regulations. And with that, I'm here for you if you've got any questions.
Thank you, sir.
I want to add some information real quick. Thank you.
Sure.
This is David Armijo. So the world is moving very, very quickly right now, as everybody knows. So a couple of things that have happened is the price of electric buses have gone up. The prices of the hybrids have remained flat. So the differential now, which was marginal before, is now $300,000 savings. The second thing is by the action that the MPO is doing, it creates a new grant application opportunity for us, which means we can submit this to the New Mexico Matching Fund, and it's possible we could get the local match paid for. So we actually might be able to get a free bus. That's the other reason why we're asking you to take this action today with a resolution, because we think that could save us money for the district. And also, we're looking at these hybrids running the longer haul service that can go up into Hatch, as well as the Turquoise route in Chaparral. And people love these buses.
Okay. Thank you, David.
Thank you.
All right, are there, board members, are there any questions on the requested amendment to the grant application? Council Flores?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Armijo, if I read this correctly, it seems like we're between a rock and a hard place in terms of going all electric. Financially, it's a more sound or sound.
So, thank you, Counselor. That's a good point. So I was informed on Friday from two sources, Friday and Monday. Friday by the folks at Gillig that Secretary Duffy for the Department of Transportation will be issuing a directive. I confirmed that with New Mexico DOT in a conversation Monday afternoon, that's coming. The directive will do exactly what we thought it would do. It will allow all the contracts that are already in place to go forward. However, this one could be questionable. However, their timeline is in April. We think we can get this through to the MPO pretty quickly. Do you know the date of the meeting you're going forward with, Tim?
I don't have the exact date, but I was informed today that they won't need to take it to the MPO board.
That's right,
They can actually do it administratively, which shaves off a lot of time. A lot of time be saved by that movement. So we're quite happy with that.
Yeah, so with that done, that means the signature authority can be done internally. That'll allow us to move forward. So I think it's a much better shot that we're going to be able to keep our money and keep this project. However, and I want to go back to what I said a moment ago with the money. This all looks very good right now. We don't know what happens after 2026. There's no plan, there's no roadmap for 2027 and beyond. So the good news is we have very industrially got as much as we possibly could during the last couple, 3 years. And so that'll bode well for us going forward. And I think we're going to be okay. And more importantly, operating funds will remain the same or even go higher. So I think this will all be fine. We took advantage of the window from 2022 to next year. Those 4 years will have accomplished more than most systems could have ever imagined. We got a lot of buses.
I know, David, I think Councilor Flores was also asking why, I guess if I understand it, why we don't have any visibility to funds after 2026? Is that the
That sounds like a good idea, yeah.
question?
Yeah, I was thinking about it in the back.
Well, one reason is Congress hasn't taken any action. Yeah, the bipartisan
Pues se están
bill
peleando.
ends in 2026. There's
All we
no,
do is fight. We're not doing anything.
So I guess is the concern, I guess, that they're changing the requirements that it can't be EV, it has to be, or it can't be full electric, it has to be hybrid?
that's part of the concern, Commissioner. The real concern is whether or not they even fund it.
Yeah.
Because the transportation fund, which goes to a lot of the capital across the country for highways and roads, that's starting to run down. And unless they come to save that, the money has been coming out of the general fund to offset it. If they don't move money from the general fund, then we would have to roll back to 2012 levels. We'd lose a decade of funding. So that would reduce funding by almost 60%. However, we're exempt. The rural funds are exempt from that because it's a categorical grant. And the CMAQ is a categorical grant, as is the 5307 urban funds. So it's a weird dynamic, but I think a lot of that will be okay. What would be hurt would be high-speed rail, heavy urban rail systems, and all the new start stuff that's been going on for the last decade. Because there wouldn't be funding for that.
Mr. Chair,
Councilor Flores, yes, please.
thank you. So, Mr. Armijo, just given the political environment and atmosphere too, it seems like very little business is being taken care of in our capital. And I'm just wondering if there's going to be a focus and real concern for what's going on in the communities and how different policies will impact decisions.
You know,
And I don't want you to, look
Yeah,
into your crystal ball, but I'm just
my
concerned.
opinion is that New Mexico, actually, because of its oil and reserves and resources, has opportunities that some other states do not have. I think the legislature could very well, I mean, I understand they may call people in for a special session on crime, and that's important, but they very well may need to have an extended session this next year on this issue as well. It's not just us for transit, it's highways and roads
Correct. The whole,
and county
yeah, the whole,
funding for some of that. So, yeah, we're not out of the woodwork yet, so we'll see where it goes.
okay, thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Flores. Thank you, David. And I think there's been some discussion, I think, as a whole to figure out maybe within, as you mentioned, the oil and gas industry, because we've seen other states like Texas implement taxes that they're now using for additional funds for roadway and roadway improvement to augment whatever funding they were already getting from the federal government. So I don't know, it'll be interesting to see where we go as a state, but yeah, I guess, I think, well, I don't know that I fully am excited about having to amend this, but understand the reasons behind it. And so I think given that, I don't know how other board members are feeling in terms of this, but I want to make sure that we get the capital resources that we're trying to apply for in a grant and don't lose out on those opportunities. Board members, are there any other questions or comments? Okay. Yes. Please. And if you don't mind, at least putting the microphone, sorry, just that. Okay.
No, I think that we're between a rock and a hard place because it seems like there's, we have to, the request is reasonable given the circumstances, but it isn't, certainly not my vision of what I wanted. And I think that's disappointing, but not for any reasons except for the objective conditions. So I just want to go on the record for that in case there's a recall on me.
No, absolutely, Counselor, and I agree. I think, like I said, I think we've done quite a bit to invest in the electric buses and the infrastructure to support that. I know that we're talking a little bit about our next item, a little bit more about it, but I think that is why it's disappointing because we've seen progress. We know the benefits of it, and we've seen, that's where we were going. But I said, given the political climate, we've got to be able to hopefully do what's best for the district as well as the residents. So, while not, like I said, a little disappointing, Lord, I think I support it, and so, I understand the thought behind it. So I appreciate you.
Well, we appreciate that. Thank you.
You and the staff, and Tim, thank you so much for bringing this forward today.
Thank you.
Good.
All right.
One last item.
And if there are no questions or comments from the rest of the board, I'll ask for a roll call on this item.
I was doing something here. All right, thank you. Commissioner Sanchez.
Yes.
Mayor Padilla.
Yes.
Meiji Paui.
Yes.
And Commissioner, no, not Commissioner, Mayor Medillo.
Mayor Murillo is not on.
Yeah.
Web.
Yeah.
Is she?
She's not, she's still there.
Oh, okay, got
I
it.
just heard her. And Councilor Flores,
Yes.
and finally Mayor Hernandez.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, that resolution passes. Okay, agenda item number 10, it's a discussion of the grand opening for the Sunland Park Mobility and Energy Hub, which is planned for April 22nd, 2025. Mr. Armijo.
Thank you. So I'm excited to announce that Secretary Ricky Serna has committed to coming out and speaking to us. And as of this morning in another meeting, I was on the line with Tim and Diana. Apparently, Angie Rodriguez, representing the El Paso Electric Company, has offered up her CEO from the El Paso Electric Company, may join us as well to speak. So I'm closing the loop on that and updating my agenda. So I'll be talking to you and other board members So it looks like we're going to have a very strong attendance. Many of the New Mexico DOT staff are going to be in the area doing other work, so they're going to come out. So I think we're going to get a real big group. I've had the staff working diligently for a month or longer to, clean up the facility. We're doing landscaping, woodwork, and we'll do flags. We'll have a lot of stuff going on when you get there. You'll like it. We invested $2.1 million into this 7.5 acre facility, and so it's rock bottom prices for some of the greater value. We do have the electric chargers in, 3 of them for the big buses, and 1 double charger for Charge 2. I can never remember these things. Tim can jump in if he wants. But we had a great conversation with Electric this morning, so it looks like they're going to pick up some of the costs for that charger, and it looks like they're going to add 1 more charger. So combined, that's $150,000 in rebates coming from the electric company on those 2. They've already given us over $70,000 for the transformer that helped support all this. So they've been a great funding partner, and we'll look forward to hearing a little more from them. I don't remember the bill that they passed it on, but we did get from the legislature $425,000 for which will go into DFA for the coming year for our buses. So we are finding ways to get capital locally and statewide that'll help us. So the rest of this presentation will be an opportunity to have individuals talk about it. We named the facility the Sunland Park Mobility and Energy Hub because this is the first phase of the electric vehicles. The second phase, which you already approved, will be building the solar array or microgrid that'll be rolled out between now and the end of the year. So that's going to be a big part of the project. Tim is online right now. He's in our facility. So we're able to, through WebEx and Zoom and whatever, we can communicate. And we have a group of training that we're scheduling with Gillig in the next 2 months to train drivers and all that. And we're working with the fire department in Sunland Park. We'll extend an offer also to the folks in Doña County. So as this all grows, there's so much more that comes from this facility than just a bus garage with 2 bays. So we hope that message will come out during the opening.
Great. And I know as you mentioned, even the capital outlay that we got, do we also have invitations out to our legislators as well?
We do.
Okay.
Yeah, we do. I've been going personally with them. So yes, they'll have all been invited by the time this week is up. But yeah, all that stuff's out. We expect to have several good people there. I hope Senator Hamlin will be there as well. Joanne Ferrari, her experience in transportation for 2 decades will be great, and so on. So all that will be fine.
Awesome. All right. Very good. Board members, any questions about the planned event on the 22nd?
Where's it going to be at the Sunland?
Sunland Park.
Yeah.
Yep, Canela Drive, almost at the end of Doña County. You'll be leaving Las Cruces for a little bit, so.
Maybe you could put that details.
We will set up a shuttle out of Las Cruces to bring people over.
All right.
And bring them back.
Mayor Padilla, we're coming and invading Sunland Park from the north here.
You're always welcome over here. Always.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We're looking forward to coming down and joining you.
Yep.
Look forward to it. Congratulations to the staff for their hard work in getting this accomplished. So thanks a lot for that.
Absolutely, and thank you. I'm excited. I know, actually, you mentioned Kelly Tomlin from El Paso Electric, and I know they've been an advocate even here with the county and with Las Cruces Public Schools. They installed chargers for their. Actually, they helped worked with El Paso Electric to get their electric buses, school buses going, and so they were a part of their ribbon cutting as well. So I'm excited for the event, and so yeah. This will be good news and get to share with everybody.
We're excited. Looking forward to it.
Awesome.
So that's, we got 1 item left.
Yes, sir. All right. So that just leaves us, agenda item number 11, it's a closed session. So with that, I need a motion to convene in closed session to discuss personnel matters as authorized, or relating to the executive director as authorized by the Open Meetings Act, Section 10-15-1, H2 and 5. If I can get a motion to approve.
So moved by
So
Flores.
Second, Mr. Chair.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilor Flores, second by Mayor Perea. And if I get a roll call, please.
Yes. Commissioner Sanchez.
Yes.
Mayor Padilla,
Yes.
Trustee Powie,
Yes.
Councilor Flores,
Yes.
Mayor Murillo, and Mayor Hernandez.
Yes.
I heard her. Yes. Thank you. Mayor Hernandez?
Yes, but unfortunately, like I mentioned, I do have to step out now
That's fine.
on the
We're good.
meeting.
Okay, thank you, Mayor,
We
Vice
still have
Chair.
a quorum.
We then, in that case, with that approval, we will go into closed session here at 2:32 PM. All righty. So we are back online streaming. And with that, it's 3:02 p.m. and we're back in open session. Just want to make the statement that the only thing discussed in closed session was the items made in the motion to go into closed session. And with that, I think we had on the last item, second to last item on the agenda is board comments. I don't know, board members, if there are any comments at this time? All right. Not hearing or seeing any. So with that, then we're down to the last item, which is adjournment. If I can get a motion to adjourn.
That's it.
So moved by Flores.
Thank you, Councilor Flores. I'll second the motion. And so with that, at 3:03 p.m., we will call this meeting adjourned. Thank you all so much. And we'll see you on next meeting, April 23rd. Thank you.